Welcome, Cletus Ray's Roadside Service. I think I can go ahead and it's the same day, but I'm starting a new job. It's kind of last minute type of situation. I was getting my tires. You know how much I like to talk about my tires yesterday, or not? Yeah, yesterday, because this is going to be on tomorrow's podcast probably. Got the tires taken care of. And we had issues because that specific tractor, there were some tires I couldn't even check the fucking air in them because that's whoever did the tires, which is a guy at our shop. I like him, but he didn't do a good job putting tires on because he just throws them on there and calls them good. He airs them up before he throws them on there, but they clock the wheels wrong, on them duals. You can't get to the damn valve stem. So, anyways, got that taken care of. And, well, while I was getting taken care of it, my boss called me and said, "Hey, I need you to go pick up a dump truck and head over to the derailment and do some work." So I got somebody to give me a ride to the truck place, and dude, these people over here, fucking, this lady does not know what the fuck she's doing. She was like trying to find right paperwork. She's trying to ask me what truck I'm getting. I'm like, I don't fucking know. I have no idea. You guys, I'm supposed to come here and get the truck. I don't know what truck it is. Oh, man. So, did a lot of running around. I was at the rental place for an hour and a half, which is crazy. And then I finally get the truck. It's a brand new 2025 Peterbilt dump truck. Not even sure the model of this thing here. This paper might say it, actually. Peterbilt 3-axle dump truck. So it's just tandems. Anyways, it's brand new. This is kind of nice, but it feels cheap as shit on the inside. Like, everything is plastic. I mean, I guess most trucks, everything's plastic, but I don't know. This one seems super fucking cheap. It looks like the whole inside of this was just 3D printed. Everything but the headliner and the seats has got like armor all over it. So, whatever. Finally got over here to the place, and now I haven't ran a dump truck a whole lot in my life, but the ones I have they've all been different. So this one, I was like, I don't even know how to run this motherfucker yet. I just got it and got over here to the site before I even looked at it, really. But we got to figure it out. I figured it all out. Now we should be good. And I'm going to a nice landfill, a landfill I prefer, which is pretty cool. Right down the road here. I'm still on the BNSF property over here, just fucking bouncing along dirt roads that they just built just for this job. And it's corn syrup. There's a fuckload of corn syrup that got spilled out of tanker cars. So that's interesting, and they're just digging it up, and I'm taking it to the landfill. And my boss called me. He said, "Hey, instead of you doing other jobs this week, you're just going to be running that dump truck." So this is my dump truck. What really sucks is I got to run paper logs. Not a big fan of doing that. So I'm just going to kind of keep track with my, my field notes. And I'll get the paper logs filled out properly. But we had one guy already get pulled over and inspected. Oh! So, that's interesting. I hope I don't get pulled over because I ran that truck earlier. I ran a truck to the truck wash, and so I'm like, all right, well, I can't have duplicate logs, right? Like that's a big no-no. Is having duplicate logs. So, am I supposed to? I mean, I already got my answers now, but I'm going to tell you my whole thought process. I was like, I have to transfer my 7-day logs, 7 days worth of logs to my paper logbook, and then go. And he's like, no, no, no. All you just have to do today. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll do today, but then I still have duplicate logs. I don't know. It's a big fucking mess. I don't fucking know. But I went ahead and filled out my logbooks, and I just started it right where I left off. So hopefully everything will work out all right for me. But man, we're rolling. We're rolling. We're taking dirt over here to the place. I think I'm gonna try to make this like a three-part podcast or something. I don't know. Maybe not. But I wanted to capture my initial reactions, even though they're not that special. But I don't know. I just had a calling to go ahead and pull up the podcast and start talking because I don't know. The lady at the rental place, she was fucking. I sat there I was like, "What are we waiting on?" She's like, "Oh, the cab card." I was like, "Okay, you don't have the cab card?" She's like, "Well, we have it. I got to get a new one because the old one had the wrong VIN on it." I'm like, what kind of fucking operation is this? So I didn't even know what truck it was until I saw the truck. Well, I got the cab card, and then I immediately went over and got the truck, but I was like, ooh, 2025 Peterbilt, brand new. It's got 6,000 miles on it, so it's not that new. It's not super fucking new, but it is pretty fucking new. Yeah, so just having a good time doing this, just running this dump truck up and down the road. So yeah, and I'll catch back up with you later when I figure out what the fuck is actually gonna happen. Because I was hoping to go home early today because my son got that VR and everything, and I'm not gonna be late going home today, but because the landfill is gonna close, so I'm not gonna be able to really do much. It's already 2 o'clock, I think. Yeah, 2 o'clock. It's already 2 o'clock. So there ain't no way I'm gonna be able to get to the landfill that many times today. I think I don't know. I think I'm gonna be quicker than the other guy doing it. But as of me, I think today I could get 2 loads if I really hammer down and everything goes well. But I don't know. I'm gonna be a professional fucking dump truck driver by the end of this. I'll tell you that right now. And this little dump truck is it's not very big. Not very big, but it is a little peppy thing. I really don't even feel like I'm that heavy, but I bet I am. Anyways, I'm gonna cut this off. Listen to some podcasts. Got Brian Callen on Joe Rogan. I saw that pop up earlier, and I'm gonna try to listen to that. Just hang out. All right. Well, I'll be back. Well, a little bit of an update. They kicked me off my motherfucking job already. Can you guys believe it? It's now almost 6 o'clock. Same day, Wednesday here. Um, yeah, I got excited. So I had to use paper log, but I called the mechanic, I called the fleet manager, and I got on their ass to get the geotab, electronic logging stuff set up for that dump truck. And I got it all set up. They're like, all right, we're going to do it in the morning. So you'll be ready to go. And I'm like, oh, perfect. And then I hurried up and I got my last load done. Everything's going well. And then on my way home, uh, I don't know, who I talked to. I talked to somebody. I talked to a lot of fucking people today. Talked to somebody, and they said, "Oh, I don't think you're taking the dump truck tomorrow." I was like, "Why would I not be taking the dump truck tomorrow?" They're like, "I think you got stuck on that other job." And I'm like, "What other job?" They're like, "I don't know. Call your boss." I'm like, "Okay, fine. Jesus. Well, don't bring it up if you ain't got all the information. Jesus." So I called up my boss. I'm like, why you trying to hate me? Why are you doing this? He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I heard that you are kicking me out of the truck. He's like, there's no possible way you know that I'm kicking you out of the truck. I'm like, why? He's like, he's the only person I told I just hung up with to answer your phone call. I'm like, well, that's probably because that person isn't the person that told me about this. And anyways, it was just a fucking he's like, yeah, I'm taking you off of that because I need you as a Class A driver to take the double rail tomorrow to Gallatin. Apparently there was a dry van that crashed, and it had a bunch of dog food, like industrial bags of dog food. I'm not sure. Maybe they're just regular dog food bags that just hadn't had like the outer layer put on them yet, or so. I don't know. I'm not sure. Dumped it into a creek. Tractor trailer full of fucking dog food. And I guess there's also some pallets that didn't fall in the creek that are up on the road that we're gonna take care of tomorrow. So I gotta go in the morning, get to work. The place that I'm getting the dumpsters from doesn't even open till 8. So I'm just gonna get in at 7, get my truck hooked up, get everything ready to go get my dumpsters by 8, and then head up to Gallatin. And then from what I think, I'm going to drop these dumpsters and they're going to have a skid steer. They talked something about a daisy chain. Now, I do not like the term daisy chain. That means somebody's standing at the pile of dog food. They pick up a bag and they turn around and they hand it to another person. That other person, it's like kind of like monkeys or whatever, those little red monkey toys or whatever. Everybody links together. As an assembly line or so, I don't know. Daisy chain is what it's called, I believe. And I'm like, hey, I don't want to be there during the daisy chain part. I don't want to be a part of the daisy chain. I really don't. But turns out that's probably what's going to end up happening. I'm gonna be halfway in a creek tomorrow, touching every single bag of dog food. Does not sound like a good time. Um, and then once the dumpsters are full, I'm going to load them back up and then take them to our shop and let them sit at our shop for a while. Not a long while, just a little while they get the profile on them so we can take it to the landfill. You know, that old thing. Oh man. But I'm finally headed home today. It's been an exciting day. Really would have rather just taken trucks to the truck wash and then gone home. That was looking like it was going to be a good time. Um, while I was running the dump truck, I didn't like once I got I what I should have done is eaten food when I got to the rental place. But that's not where you're supposed to be eating food. I was supposed to just get there, get the truck, and get the fuck out. I ended up wasting 45 minutes sitting there when I could have been eating my lunch. I brought my lunch with me. I had 2 hard-boiled eggs, an apple, a bag of sausage, like beef sticks, and then I had a bag of pork rinds and a bag of cheese. I mean, I had all the good shit, delicious good shit, and The only time I sat still long enough was there at the rental place, but I couldn't like I was waiting on a piece of paper. So I'm not going to walk outside and start eating my food because when the paper's ready, I don't want the lady to have to try to find me. I'm not going to bring my food in there. And that was all right around lunchtime. And I mean, I'm just talking about how I was hungry, and I'm still kind of hungry. So yeah, after I got the truck, there was no sitting still for any amount of time at all. It was, I got the truck, I had to drive like literally across the street to the job site. I'm bouncing down the road, can't eat while you're driving. Plus, I have hard-boiled eggs with shells on it. I'm not going to peel the shell off while I'm driving. So there was just no time. I'm getting loaded, I have paper logs. I have to get filled out. I have to fill out these fucking paper logs. So while I was getting loaded, I was just making sure I was keeping track of all of my times and trying to keep up with the paper log that I did not want to fuck up on, right? So there was no time there. And then I had to drive from there to the landfill. It takes 30 minutes. Not bad. Drive to the landfill, get in the landfill, dump, turn around, get the fuck out of there. There's no time to eat. No time to sit still. So, and I had already planned tomorrow. I was like, tomorrow, whenever I'm running this dump truck, I'm going to get to the landfill around noon, or even the job site around noon. I'm going to pull up and over, and I'm going to sit and take my 30-minute break, and I'm going to eat my delicious food that I have. And then that all got taken away. And now I'm going to be on a daisy chain. So somebody ought to bring me some motherfucking lunch tomorrow, is what it is. Even though I'm trying to get back on the diet, like everything I've had today has been diet materials. So why fuck that up now? But I don't know. Last night I had a bowl of cereal. And I actually did pretty good all day up until that point. Why did I have a bowl of cereal? I don't know. I'm addicted to food. It's a lot easier to just blame it on an addiction. I have no willpower. Where's my fucking chew, dude? There's some more chew in this fucking bag here. I've been going through so much chew lately. Dude, it's right there. Right there. Got it. I don't know if anybody else has that problem, but my work bag that I have, it's just a duffel bag. If you are trying to find something in there, you're not going to find it unless you like pull over, turn on a dome light, open it up all the way, and empty half of it out. Like, you're not finding shit, and it's not even that disorganized. It's pretty organized, actually. But whenever I start digging in it, looking for my earbuds or something, um, I lose it. I fuck it all up, and then it just gets worse and worse and worse. I don't know. So I don't know. I just wanted to update everybody for no reason, not because you guys were waiting on an update or anything. I'm not doing the dump truck tomorrow. I'm really upset about it. Really not happy about it. It would be really cool if I did the dump truck part. And the guy that's taking my dump truck, he's also a Class A. And his best friend, because there's three best friends. Two of them are they don't have a real Class A. The other one does have a Class A. He used to be an over-the-road driver. He's super young. He did not last long over the road. So he's got a real Class A. He could take the double rail up there and do that job. And that would be really cool if he did, and I could just run the dump truck. I mean, I just mapped out my whole day yesterday. I was like, all right, it's taking about an hour roughly, give or take 5, maybe 10 minutes. It takes about an hour to get a load from start to finish. From getting loaded to getting loaded again is about an hour. I was like, I could do 8 of these motherfuckers a day. 8 hours and maybe even more. But, with that extra 10, 20 minutes that it might be, it might end up being uh, a 10-hour day or something for 8 boxes. But 8, or not 8 boxes, but 8 loads out of that dump truck. And the dude that I was had the other dump truck out there, I caught up to him. So I rolled in. This is how it went. I rolled into the job site. He was rolling out. I got loaded, and I made it to the landfill. As I was heading down to dump, he was headed up to dump. We're on the same level right there. I get to the job site. He just started getting loaded. So he was pretty slow right there. I had to wait for him to get out of the way. As soon as he got out of the way, I went and I got loaded. I caught him I didn't catch him right at the beginning of the way, or the fucking landfill. I didn't catch him at the beginning of the landfill, but I caught him. I watched him turn around and back up to the pile of trash. And I went down there, I backed up to the pile of trash, dumped my load, and beat him out of the bottom of the landfill. So I passed him. I go up, and then I have to scale out since I'm using a rental truck. They don't have the weight saved in the landfill. It would be nice if they did, but they didn't. So he passed me as I was, getting out of the truck to get my paperwork from the landfill. I caught him right outside on the road, like right. I don't know. I have to stand there. The lady wants to talk to me. Blah blah blah. This and that, and then I get out on the road, and he's right there. I'm like, was he waiting on me? What is going on here? So get out of his lane. Poor guy's got some issues going on with his truck. Speed up, bitch. Jesus, I let them get in front of me so they didn't hit a trucker. And then they get in front of me and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're still going to do 50 miles an hour." Doesn't make sense. Um Anyways, I beat him. I'm way faster than he is all I'm trying to say. This dude was like 2 hours ahead of people, and we were headed to St. Louis. He got to the shop 2 hours before somebody else, and you better not be coming over again, motherfucker. I don't know. We basically, limited at 75 miles an hour. We caught up to him on the way to St. Louis. Like, I don't know. He's so slow. He's such a slow driver. Um, which they're slow and cautious and safe, yes. But there's also slow for no fucking reason, and that's what we got there. All right, I'm trying to race against these motherfuckers uphill. And he was a little defensive when I told. He's like, "Hey, how did that run go yesterday with the truck and trailer that he usually runs?" I said, "Oh, it went pretty good, other than all the flat tires and stuff." He's like, "I air up those tires every single time." I was like, "Oh, really? Why? Why don't you send it to the shop?" He's like, "I write it up every time too. They never do anything about it." I'm like, "What are you talking about? I don't know how you write it up." I'm like, Well, it's taken care of now because I pulled it into the shop and took the wheels. He's like, "Well, I'm not a mechanic." I'm like, I'm not either. Like, I'm not saying that our mechanics are the best thing we've ever had, but they're not bad. You just, but there's always something else that pops up that needs to be done. You might as well just get in there and do it yourself, or like bring it in there and say, "Hey, this needs done," and just leave it in their way until they fix it. You know, that's what that's my method. I park it in there. I say, "Yeah, this needs this, this, and this." And they're like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "All right, see you later," and I get walk out, go do something else. But I usually, like, if I don't have anything else to do, I go back in there and start fucking with them. You know, because I like to fuck with people. But I don't know. Man, these wildfires, I think they're still going on. That's insane to me. I thought they had burned out. I thought they ran out of shit to burn and they were just done. Like, it burned, it went to the ocean, and it can't burn the water, so it just died out. But I guess there's still fires going on. It's like, what the fuck? What is going on over there, dude? And they're like really worried about, I think today specifically, this is Wednesday. I think they're really worried specifically about today because they're talking about the winds really kicking up. And then also like buildings that have fallen because they were burned, having hot spots inside of them that will, eh, put out embers and put fires to other spots. I don't know, man. It's a pretty big disaster over there, and I mean, just from what I'm not there. I have no dog in that fight whatsoever. But I would, rather than just saying, "Oh, it's climate change." Yep, that's just the way it happens. I would put it more towards there was either a way to prevent this from happening, or there was at least supplies that you could have had if it had happened, and that none of those seemed to be. It seemed like that was a big problem, was not having water and having a lot of. Well, I brought this up once before where I'm like, oh well, and maybe I'm wrong, but the climate out there in Florida is ripe for growing and stuff, so they really need to work on doing a controlled burn every now and again to so it won't be such a significant fire when it does happen, because you're not going to stop the fires from happening. The fires are going to happen. Like, fires happened when dinosaurs were around and people weren't really around, from what I heard. There's a lot of just fires, dry conditions. It'll be fires. And that's, it seemed like, when the dinosaurs are just standing there and they're like, "Oh fuck, there's a fire," and they run away. There's nothing they could do, and that it's like that's still the same method that California uses right now. It's like, "Oh fuck, there's nothing we can do." They just evacuate, get the fuck out of the way. Fires are coming. Like, where's the water? Well, and then the interesting thing about it today was on that Brian Callen podcast. I haven't listened to the whole thing yet, but they were talking about there used to be the largest body of water was right there in the middle of California or something like that. I don't know. So it used to be a lake, and I don't know if it dried up naturally or if humans had something to do with that, but um, I don't know, man. Those are expensive fucking houses. I saw one picture. Obviously, it could be made up, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it could be true. It looked like somebody took a picture of Zillow or something, some sort of a home buying website aerial image of one of those neighborhoods. Not even the whole neighborhood, just like 2 or 3 blocks of that neighborhood, and every single house in there was like over $3 million or more. And it's like, and they're all completely burned. And that wasn't even all the houses. It was just the ones that were like for sale at the time. Are they reasonably priced? No. $1 million for, I mean, I'm Midwest, so I don't know. But $1 million? Like, I got a thing in the mail the other day, and it was from some company that wants to buy my house. I don't know. You get that shit all the fucking time. I think everybody gets one of those. Like, or your number gets out there somehow, and people are calling and texting you, like, "Hey, what's up?" And you're like, who is this?" And like, "Oh, it's Jim." "Oh, hi, Jim. Hey, yeah, so remember when we talked about buying your house?" And then they touch your address and everything, and it's like, "Yeah, we're willing to make it this offer right here, right now." I'm like, "No, no." You don't even reply, you just block. That's happened a couple of times. But yeah, they'll send shit in the mail all the fucking time. So I got one in the mail, and it said, "We're willing to buy your house." I bought my house for $146,000 7 years ago, maybe 8 now. I don't know. Been a little while. Um, and their estimated offer that they was in between 240,000 and 300,000 for my house, and I'm just like, no, but that's cool. But is it cool? I don't think it's that cool, because if I wanted to buy a house like mine, uh, I would have to spend a $300,000 on it. So like, I'm not gonna sell you my house for $300,000, or even 220 or 40, whatever it was. I can't I can't get another house for that of equal size. That's the cheap offer, is what you're showing me. That's the cheap offer. No, I'm not gonna sell it for the cheap offer. And the other crazy thing is, yeah, the housing market is crazy expensive right now. It's not a great time to buy, but the houses are expensive. That's why it's not a good time to buy. They're expensive, and the interest rates are high. That just brings in these giant corporations. I guess like BlackRock or whatever. I don't know. There's all different kinds of them, and even smaller but still very large businesses that will come in and they'll buy up as many houses as they can. They will overpay sometimes, to get your house, because they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna buy this house from you for fair market value," which is, that's what everybody wants, fair market or even over. But they have bigger plans in mind, which makes sense. Like, if I was that business, that's what I would want to do also. They want to buy the house and then own it for the entirety of the house. They they want to rent it. They don't want anybody to own a house. They want everybody to rent their houses, so it's their house. And that's just, I don't know. I'm not interested in that. I'd like to buy my house and keep my house and not have somebody, not rent. I'm not a renter. And there's all those other companies out there that, I mean, they almost got me reeled in with one of those. They were like, "We're gonna buy your house for fair market value, and you don't have to leave. We're gonna buy your house, and then you pay us rent." And it's like, all right, well, that might be kind of a good deal. But then it's like, if, yeah, they say you can stay as long as you want in the house that we're gonna own. We're gonna have the whole thing's gonna be paid off. It's gonna be our house, and you can stay as long as you want. Okay, well, I'd like to see the fine print in that, because you know they what they can do is they can sell it to themselves or another corporation that they own. Like, they own three corporations or whatever, but it's the same head guy. Sells it to another place, and then then you got to go. got to get out. It's not your house no more. Or yeah, we're gonna increase the rent to twice of what your monthly payment was when you were owning the house. But sorry, it's not your house anymore, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can cry, you can be really upset, and we will give you a tissue, but there's nothing that we're gonna do for you. It's just like, what the fuck? And so I don't know. Looking at my brother now, after this specific conversation we're having right now, it makes a little bit more sense. He's like, I want to live in a camper, want to buy a camper, own a camper, and live in a camper. He just doesn't want to be a part of any of it. He's like, give me a camper. I'll live in a fucking camper. And I don't know. I feel like trailer parks might be the new fad for some things. There might be like better, like, yeah, it's going to be a trailer park or mobile home park or whatever, but they get a bad rap, and yeah, because it's cheap. But I don't know. Maybe somebody can create a mobile home park, but it's nice. Can we have a nice trailer park somewhere, please? My buddy lives in one. It seems pretty nice, but his neighbors are fucking annoying as shit. Okay, like they park in his fucking driveway and shit, and there's you know you feel you he's a nice guy. He's like, yeah, uh, can you not, like, I need to park in my driveway too, like, could you leave me some room, please? And it's just like an awkward conversation to have. It's like, so I don't know, but I think he actually is paying for or already owns his actual living quarters, but he rents the land. So I don't know, but yeah, my brother, owning something that's movable, like, yeah, BlackRock doesn't give a fuck about your camper trailer. But I have two children, two dogs, and a wife. Living in a camper does not sound like something I want to do. Vacation, sure, that'd be great, but I'd rent a camper for vacation. I don't want to have that fucking deal sitting there at my house or whatever. I don't want to have to deal with that shit. I'd rather do a motor home, one that's already got a house or a vehicle attached to it, so you can drive it around. I don't want to have to deal with trailers and shit. But it would be like, yeah, if you take like a camper RV or whatever out to a campsite, and you're like, hey, I want to run up to the gas station real quick. You're like, fuck, we got to take the whole house, or have a little trailer with a car behind it or something, so you can go places. And some of those wildfire videos that I was watching, there was a guy on like a little electric dirt bike, Suron, I think. I'm like, man, one of those would be cool, but I don't think that's suitable for where I work. Like, yeah, for right around town, yeah, I'd be okay with that. I'd ride one of those. I'd be a big fucking fat guy on one, but having an electric little bike that I can just run around town would be great. But for driving all the way back and forth to work, no, maybe a motorcycle. But I don't know, man. With how much I complain about traffic, I don't think getting a motorcycle would decrease my complaints about traffic. It would only be an increase. But it would be cool to take some videos on a motorcycle or something. I guess I could take videos with my car, but my car is just a fucking car. It's just a Chevy Cruze. Nothing exciting here. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for letting me on the highway. See, I'm a hypocrite, because if I was him and I was driving, I was like, get over. Get over. Nope, not getting over. Well, I mean, I had this. It's a Chevy Cruze. I had it to the wood, okay? I fuck go as fast as I can. Um, man, yeah. So I don't know. If I could sell my house for that real price, obviously there's a lot of loan goes along with that, but that's over $100,000. Like that's $100,000 cash in hand over what I paid for the house. So like I could get $100,000 if I sold my house, but I'd have to find somewhere else to go. I could rent, and I could probably rent a pretty nice house if I had that chunk of change with me. But I don't know. I was talking to somebody that was renting, and they were like, "Oh yeah, it's like $1,100 to rent this or whatever." In my area, at least. And I was like, "Dude, that's my house payment." You know, like it makes no difference. But other than I guess property tax, that's a big one. But I don't know. If I could sell my house and I knew of a place where I could move that I was going to enjoy life, like yeah, I'll sell my house, but I'm going to buy another house. I'm not going to rent another. I want to sell my house since it's increased, I don't know, 80% or 75% or whatever, I don't know. And then take the money that I get from the house and pay off the loan and then move to another house. I guess I'd have a good down payment. I could probably get something pretty nice, but I don't know. Like I still have financial issues. Getting a more expensive house is not really an option. And with the interest, like we got in at a pretty good interest rate. The interest rates now would be even worse. So I don't know. It does not seem like something. I think I'm just gonna stick with my house. My wife really wants to move. She wants to move to like Florida or something. I'm like, I don't want to live in disaster zones. Okay, I don't want. Yeah, we get a tornado every now and again. Never seen one. 34 years old. Never seen a tornado. Lived here my whole life. Tornadoes don't really freak me out that much. But I guess there's another video I was watching late last night, just trying to go to sleep, and it was a guy driving around abandoned towns in Kansas. Now I don't want to live in Kansas, but there's abandoned towns in every state. And there's like a full-on house, like I don't know, 4-bedroom. I don't know. I actually didn't pay too much attention, but they're cheap ass houses in abandoned towns. But yeah, like, or I got to work somewhere. Can't just live in an abandoned town. And I need to have a job there too. I guess I do have a pretty good skill set. I got a CDL, and now that I've operated I'm an equipment operator too. Okay, I operate equipment. I got dump truck experience today, guys. And like I said earlier, I said I'm going to be a pro by the end of this. I'm a pro now. Took me 2 dumps, and I'm a pro. Okay, I'm a professional dumperoo. Um, pretty happy with how I can dump shit out of a dump truck. Okay, I could spread it, I could dump it, I can drop it. Yeah, I do it. But I don't know. Anyways, I'm just over here blab blab blab. Fucking prop me up, buddy. I'm fucking a badass. Hell yeah, let everybody know that I'm fucking cool. I know I'm a good guy. Anyways, I'm gonna let you guys go. And I'm gonna go ahead and end this episode because I'm not doing that other. I'll have a different episode for you tomorrow. Keep all 18 down. Adios.